Hey, what's up, dudes? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. Today I wanted to talk about Alien in Dead by Daylight. Alien is a very popular Xenomorph, rather. Xenomorph is a very popular character in pop culture horror. Everybody knows what a Xenomorph is, everybody knows the Alien movie, and most people have actually watched it, but is this character possible for Dead by Daylight? There's a lot of people out there that if you ask them this question, a lot will say no and a lot will say yes. Today, I'm going to give my opinion on why it's likely, but unlikely at the same time, so stick around for that. Before we get completely into it, I would like to ask you guys, if you are updated, informed, or entertained, please consider hitting that like button. It means a ton to me and helps out the video with visibility. And also, if you want more daily Dead by Daylight content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We got a couple of awesome videos coming out that I think you guys are going to enjoy. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, Alien in Dead by Daylight is a really tricky one to talk about, because like I talked about in my video yesterday with the most likely characters, he was actually on that list. But the thing about Alien is, opposed to most of the other characters on that list, the devs have talked about, teased, hinted around these other characters. They've hinted at Candyman for years, they've hinted at Pennywise for a long time, and even like called Pennywise out by name in interviews. So what have they done for Alien? Well, nothing really. They've never actually, to what I could find in my research, actually mentioned Alien. And while that's not entirely a red flag, sometimes they just don't talk about the characters. I don't think they talked about Stranger Things at all. I don't think they talked about Leatherface or Freddy or anything when it came to those characters. It was kind of just like, here you go, you got it, awesome, there you go, buy it and play it. So that's not really a red flag in itself. But what other information do we have based around this? Well, the one good thing we got going for us is there is a ton of Alien fans in the Dead by Daylight community, and that's what you get when you're mostly a horror game or you are based around pop culture horror icons. Like, everybody knows who Alien is, like I said, so there's a lot of people in the community that actually back it. And believe it or not, I know some pessimists out there in the community would like you to believe that the devs don't listen to what the community says, and while that may be true sometimes when it comes to balance, they really do listen when it comes to content. Mostly every licensed chapter we've got in the game since 2016, when it started with Halloween's chapter with Michael Myers, most of the chapters have been the most requested chapters by fans. Yes, we're still missing some like Candyman, we're still missing Pennywise, we're still missing The Thing, we're still missing a lot of characters that people want, but we're only in year 5 of Dead by Daylight, and in those 5 years we've gotten a ton of content, from Michael Myers to Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, and a ton more, just recently getting Hellraiser. So with him being as popular as he is, that really takes him up the list a lot. But the thing you have to understand when it comes to licensing a character and getting the license and permission to use it is you have to do just that. You have to get permission to use the character, and or license, really. And when it comes to every other studio, I don't think it's been that rough, because they're pretty easygoing. Michael Myers, Halloween, all these characters have had and been in tons of stuff, but a lot of these characters that they've gotten aren't that hard to get, or at least weren't at the time. Now that's been a little bit complicated for Freddy Krueger, and it's been complicated for Jason. I'm sure he was one that they really wanted, but it's been complicated with some because of the licensing issues. The main thing when it comes to Alien is the parent company, who owns the character, and that is the Walt Disney Company and 20th Century Studios, which is now a product of the Walt Disney Company. It used to be Fox. Now, for those of you who are uninitiated to the Walt Disney Company and Disney in general, you might be saying, well, why is that such a problem? Well, Disney's kind of stingy. Money! When it comes to Disney and licensing out their characters for other people to make the majority amount of money over them, they're not always too happy about it. They'd rather do it themselves. And that's why we have a new Alien game that just came out, or is coming out today rather, because they would rather do and fund everything themselves and receive almost 100% of the profit. That's the thing about it. They don't like, from at least what I've been able to research and what I previously already know about the Walt Disney Company, is they would rather make their own money instead of licensing their product, whatever character it is, out to another studio to make a majority more money than they do. Where's the evidence for that? Well, we're kind of seeing it right now. They are legitimately thinking about buying Sony just so they can own the full rights to Spider-Man and not have to share them. That news story just broke the other day. And where is it even more evident? Well, they bought Fox. They own Alien because they bought Fox, and they bought the Fantastic Four back, and that was because of Marvel. They just wanted the X-Men and Fantastic Four back so they could make as much money as they could without having to share with the other kids. So that's kind of like the main problem when it comes to Alien. Am I saying it's impossible? Have they never licensed the character out before? No, they have. They totally have. It's just a little bit hard harder. I think it's probably really going to come down to the agreement that Dead by Daylight and Behavior is really willing to work with. Like, how much money are they willing to give Disney, and how much money is Disney willing to give Behavior, and can they come to a deal there? Because it does cost money to make these characters. It costs a good amount, and they still have to buy the license as well. So they have to buy the right to use the license, and then they're still not getting 100% of the profits to build that back up, because some money's still going to the Walt Disney Company. So Alien, to me, anything surrounding Disney, anything under Disney's wing, is a tricky one to me. I think Alien and a Xenomorph is still entirely possible, even with all the gameplay problems that could cause, and people saying he's similar to Demogorgon or whatever else. There's still a lot of problems that they'd have to solve on the way, but the main hurdle is getting past the Disney Company. And if that ever were to happen, I guarantee we'll see Alien in the game. So I'm not saying Alien could never be in Dead by Daylight. I just feel like he's going to be a lot harder to get than any of these other licenses. Even harder than a character like Pennywise. And from the stories I've heard, which I talked about in my video yesterday, the myth around the character, at least from what I've read, is that you have to go personally to Stephen King and get his permission to use the character. And I guess pay him on the spot. I don't know. But either way, it's just one of those characters like Pennywise. It's really, really hard to get, not because of the creator, but because of the parent company liking to make money. But if the character ever does make it into Dead by Daylight, I think he could be one of the coolest characters we ever get, because there's so much history for the character, and it's evolved so much in so many different crazy movies. They could play in the face huggers, they could play in the wall crawling, they could play in the drones, they could play in the Queen in some different way. I think he has, along with the Thing, in my opinion, some of the most potential to be one of the most unique killers to ever come to Dead by Daylight, just like Hellraiser was. They've done some really cool things with that character. And I think Alien is another one of those characters that could be extremely unique and extremely fun if they can get them in the game, and if they put the hard work and effort in to make the killer fun and good. But I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. Do you think Alien is like 100% possible and the Walt Disney Company would be no problem whatsoever when it comes to getting the license to this character? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But that's going to do it for me, dudes. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. My name is Tooten. I've been your host, and I'll see you dudes next time. Peace out.